Welcome back to the Changemakers Podcast, your go-to resource for exploring the dynamic world of organizational development. I'm your host, Dr. Obi Paul Byram, and in today's episode, we're diving into Chapter 2, The Nature of Planned Change. Now, whether you're catching up on your commute, taking a break, or studying at your desk, this episode will provide you with the insights and practical knowledge you need to understand and implement planned change within organizations. Now, let's imagine you're part of a company that's about to undergo a major structural change from a traditional hierarchical organization to a flat team-based model. The shift is exciting, but also daunting. How will this transition be managed effectively? How will employees adapt to the new structure? Well, today we're going to explore how organizations can navigate such changes using well-established theories of planned change. Well, let's start by discussing Kurt Lewin's three-step change model, one of the most influential frameworks in planned change. This model breaks the change process into three stages: unfreezing, moving, and refreezing. In the unfreezing stage, an organization recognizes the need for change and begins to prepare for it. This could involve challenging the status quo and getting buy-in from key stakeholders. For example, if the company wants to shift from a hierarchical to a team-based structure, leadership might start by holding town hall meetings to explain why the change is necessary. Well, the next phase is the moving stage. And the moving stage is where the actual transition happens. New behaviors, processes, and structures are introduced. In our example, this might involve creating cross-functional teams and redefining roles and responsibilities. Well, finally, the refreezing stage ensures that the changes are solidified within the organization. This could include embedding the new team structures into performance evaluations and reward systems to reinforce the change. In segment 2, we're going to talk about action research model. Another key model is action research. Now, this model, which is highly collaborative and iterative, this model emphasizes diagnosing issues, taking action, and evaluating the outcomes in a continuous cycle. For instance, consider a company that's facing customer service challenges. Using the action research model, the company could start by surveying customers to identify the root causes of delays or satisfaction. Based on the findings, they might implement a new customer support system, and after a period of evaluation, make further adjustments based on ongoing feedback. This approach not only addresses immediate problems, but also fosters, get this, it fosters a culture of continuous improvement. Now, Chapter 2 talks about a positive model. Positive model. This model, particularly within the framework of appreciative inquiry, takes a different approach by focusing on what's working well within an organization. Instead of looking for the problems, this model identifies strengths and seeks to build on them. Now, for example, a company might study its highest performing teams to understand the factors behind their success. By identifying these strengths, the organization can then replicate these practices across other teams, promoting a culture of excellence and continuous improvement. Well, let's look at that case study, Surgical Care Affiliates, SCA. Let's look how these theories come to life in the real world. SCA is a leading provider of outpatient surgery services in the U.S. Now, when SCA faced challenges like leadership disengagement and operational inefficiencies, they turned to the action research model to guide their turnaround strategy. Now, by gathering feedback through employee engagement surveys, SCA identified key issues and developed a strategy. Get that? A strategy focused on embracing leadership involvement and fostering a positive organizational culture. How about that? The iterative nature of action research model allowed SCA to continuously refine their approach, leading to significant improvements in both performance and in employee satisfaction. Well, let's talk about ethical considerations. Before we conclude, it's important to discuss the ethical considerations involved in managing change. Transparency is crucial, especially when the changes are significant, such as restructuring or layoffs. For instance, if our earlier example of a company transitioning to a team-based structure involved potential job losses, it would be vital for leadership to communicate openly and honestly with employees about the reasons for the change and the process that will be followed. This not only helps build trust, but also reduces fear and uncertainty among employees, ensuring that the change process is fair and respectful. Wow, respectful. As we wrap up, here are a few questions to ponder. How might the 3-step change model apply to a change you've witnessed in your own organization? Or maybe here at school? Can you think of a situation where the action research model could have been effectively used to solve a problem? What strengths in your organization could be amplified using the positive model? And how can leaders ensure transparency and fairness when managing significant organizational changes? We're back to that ethics thing again. Well, thank you for joining me in today's exploration of plan change. These theories, whether it's Lewin's 3-step model, the action research model, or the positive model, offer powerful frameworks for guiding organizations through the complex process of change. Now, by understanding and applying these models, you can help lead your organization through successful transformations. Well, be sure to tune in next time as we continue to explore more strategies in organizational success. This episode of the Change Makers podcast, based on Chapter 2 of textbook Organizational Development and Change by Cummings and Worley. The music and sound effects were provided by Audio Coffee, and special thanks to ETSU, faculty, and the organization for their support in allowing me to produce this podcast. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe and share it with your colleagues and classmates. Until next time, keep reflecting, keep learning, and keep making change.